see, when language is theorized as a system of science by Ferdinand Saussure, it actually brings a kind of revolution in understanding of the cultural world.
Yes.
Similarly, Darwin's Origin of Species or Marx's idea of labor or surplus value,
yeah,
something like that.
Right.
So, Saussure in a way creates a very serious, philosophically and systematically researched platform where he overturns the older idea of language and reality.
Right.
So here reality therefore is referential within the arbitrary signs and the concepts.
Right.
And that leads to our understanding of text as a reference to the system of signs and symbols that we use.
Yes.
So, he was sure that it produces meaning and certain meaning.
Right.
But post-structuralism, Derrida, for example, goes further and says that it is this system of references is again so dynamic where there is no stability.
Right.
So it doesn't really stabilize meaning, and so structuralism gets differentiated from post-structuralism in that sense.
Right.
What else? For example, you gave you referred to Wittgenstein. Can we see his contribution seminal for the whole structuralist movement?
Yes, it is. Yeah, yeah. In fact, Wittgenstein's ideas have proven themselves quite handy for understanding many disciplines. There have been many studies on the discourse of religion using Wittgenstein's concepts. So usually, without taking sides, we can say, when you pray, what kind of language game is that? Many analytic philosophers of religion would say, when you say, "Oh God," that's actually a cry for help. There's nothing supernatural or metaphysical about it. It's a language game. It's a function of language in which you cry for help. So Wittgenstein has been quite significant for not only understanding language but also for the study of a variety of disciplines. But if we can get back to what we were discussing earlier, what is important in Ferdinand de Saussure's theory of language is how you produce meaning. According to Saussure, it is difference within the system. Meaning production is something which happens, as you put it, in a process that is internal to the system. It has no reference outside the system. Derrida would carry this dictum quite forward to extreme measures. But there is another strand of thought which has taken off from Saussure's views on language, and you see the reflections in, say, Levi-Strauss's anthropological studies of many social phenomena. Later, Roland Barthes would take off from there. How do you understand kinship? How do you understand clothes? How do you understand food? There is an internal system, and this system makes meaning internally, more or less the same way language creates meaning. So, structuralism, in fact, has had a circuitous route. So, you have this Saussurean ideas of language, and you have analogous systems working in anthropology, and you have the structural studies of myth. So this idea is taking a detour. So you have language, anthropology, study of myths, and structuralism has had profound applications in literary studies across the board.
Okay.
Yeah, but regarding deconstruction, I would it's not merely an extension of structuralism. It's actually really overturning some of the premises of structuralism as well. And I usually tell my students, if you want to understand a thinker like Derrida, you have to know the tradition to which Derrida is responding. This also applies to Foucault. Yes, Foucault is responding to a series of thinkers, a whole tradition of thought. I would like to bring to your attention a certain strand of thought which Derrida is responding to. If I may draw your attention to the Gospel according to Saint John. The opening sentences, the opening verses, in the beginning was a word. The word was with God. God was word. And the word for word is logos. And we know that the term logos is used in many senses. So the word logos means a variety of things. It means governing reason, organizing principle. It means the word. It means speech. It means utterance. It means wisdom, knowledge, thought, a variety of things. Now, the precedent for Derrida is that in the scriptures, when you use this word, logos, it signifies a kind of identity between your utterance and the concept that is embodied in that utterance. You say something and you are talking about a concept. So there is a near identity between the utterance and the thought. So when Derrida critiques what he calls logocentrism or the metaphysics of presence, what he means is that these two could be separated. A thought and its utterance is separated. So when you read a text, the text could be produced, could have been produced, say 4 centuries ago. The author had certain intentions. The author had certain intended meanings for the text. But the author cannot control all the meanings of the text. The text travels. The text meets its reader. And each of us, when we read the text in front of us, we are able to derive new meanings from the text. It's the same set of signifiers. But we are able to derive new and new meanings from the same text. Roland Barthes would make a distinction between the work and the text. The work is an entity with fixed meanings. Barthes would say a work is something which we can hold in the hand. But the text is a free play of signifiers. Look at the word text itself. It is a past. It's a past participle of the Latin infinitive texere. Texere means to weave. So the word text, the past participle form, means woven. So you can weave and unweave meanings. So from the same entity, from the same set of signifiers, through a different play, through a different weaving and unweaving, you are capable of deriving new and new meanings. Derrida would call this iterability. It is the capacity of text to produce new meanings in new situations.